Greetings, one and all that are present over here. Today, me and my group are going to be representing the leadership theories. We are group two, and I'll introduce. Here is the table of content. First, I'm going to explain leadership and transformation leadership. After that, Diksha gonna explain charismatic leadership. Deepa will explain path to goal leadership, and Abhay will explain situational leadership. Bimal servant leadership. Anmol will conduct the survey. You will see in the end. And conclusion is done by Bimal. This is the sequence that is going to be for our PPT. My team to you. My name is Anmol Kumar, and the other teammates are Abhay, Deepa, Diksha, and Bimal. So let's get right into it. So let's first understand what is leadership. Leadership is a basically an art of mobilizing people in such a way so that they can complete the organizational goals and the objective of the leader in the most efficient manner. Leadership often include motivation, inspiring others, welcoming innovative ideas, and all. Like we all know about this leadership theory thing. Let's understand with the video. There you go.
Oh no! Oh no! I'm lost! Where's the line? It just went away. What do I do? Help! We'll be stuck here forever.
Do not panic! Do not panic! We are trained professionals! Now stay calm. We are going around the leaf.
Around the leaf? I don't think we can do that.
Oh, nonsense. This is nothing compared to the twig of 93. That's it. That's it. Good. You're doing great. There you go. There you go. Watch my eyes. Don't look away. And here's the line again.
Thank you, Mr. Soil.
Good job, everybody.
Oh my, there's quite a gap, Mr. Soil. Shouldn't we tell the Queen?
I don't think we need to involve the Queen in this. She's got enough on her plate already. Training her daughter.
Oh yes, Princess Ada, the poor dear.
So what do we understand from this video? The aunt was motivated. He was confident, and he came up with the new idea, like to like grow from the above, from the side of the leaf. That is the leadership that we want, like a positive attitude, and and to inspire with the new ideas, and to take us through the vision and the goal of the leader. Now we gonna move to we gonna move to me and my groupmates are going to explain leadership theories. We have total five theories that we are going to explain. I'm going to explain the theory of transformational leadership. So let's understand what is transformational leadership. It's a complex leadership style uh, in which leader have to motivate the employees in the theory of transformational leadership. So let's understand what is transformational leadership. It's a complex leadership style uh, in which leader have to motivate the employees, and he should have a common vision and the goal for the work. Um, Transformational leadership often include modeling the right way for the subordinates, as we saw in the video, so that they can work on the common objective or the goal of the organization. Transformation leader have to encourage the heart and the soul of the subordinates so that they can work on the common vision. The transformation leader have to inspire and share their visions, establishing the right protocols, and challenging the process, and enabling others to act so that they can contribute to the specific project for achieving utmost efficiency. So let's understand transformational leadership by an example. We have two great examples, Nelson Mandela and Martin Luther King. Nelson Mandela, a great personality, a great leader. He was a transformational leader. He had a clear vision and a proper mindset in his mind to establish a democratic government in South Africa. Uh, he did so. He did so by the help of his followers and the help of his vision and the objectives. The most important thing, he became the prime president of South Africa. Now let's see Martin Luther King, who participated and became a leader in civil rights movement in between 1955 to 1960 in United States. His speeches, his vision, his objective was so clear that he became a transformational leader, and he encouraged his followers and basically fight against white people so that they don't face any racism in America. And he become a change in the society. He carried a change in the society, and eventually what he achieved, he achieved he achieved the non-discrimination against black people from white. So let's understand what are the key characteristics was in stakes in Nelson Mandela and Martin Luther King, or I would say what are the key characteristics of transformational leader. First and foremost, I've told you, inspiring and motivating others, intellectual stimulation, that means recognizing the individual talent and using it most appropriately. Third one is individual consideration, to take care of their personal objectives like personal growth and the overall organizational growth in mind to complete the overall project, I would say. And idolized influence, basically to become an idol for them, to like so that they can follow the leader and influence overall working place, I would say, so that they can be motivated and work with the vision of the leader. Now let's understand what are the benefits of transformation leader. First, increase motivation and engagement, enhance performance, forecasting innovations by welcoming the ideas, personal and professional growth of employee and the leader itself, positive organizational culture. Now I would give you an example, a real world example of benefits of transformation leader. Like like I was working in Teleport once. I had a leader named called Abhijit. He was team lead. He was so good. He was transformation leader. He had a clear vision. To increase the sales by 23% by the end of the quarter of 2021. And by seeing his vision and the dream, we all got motivated, and we supported him. We put our all efforts, our sweat into that project, and eventually we gained the sales, we gained the contract and all. And the best thing, while working on the project, we had a positive work culture all around us, and we had our personal and professional growth. Now let's understand what are the challenges of transformation leader. Like we were speaking of from very long about the vision of the leader, so it can be a challenge as well. Like depending on leader vision, uh, can be detrimental sometime for organization. It can be dangerous. Like what if a leader have non-ethical vision, like he want maybe I don't know, like he want to raise his salary, maybe bonuses, he want a lot of bonuses. Then what he'll do, like he can force the employees to burden themselves and to work more to achieve the organization goal. But that's unethical, and depending on the leadership vision, sometimes can be a disaster for organization, and uh, even could cause losses for organization. Here comes our second challenge, burnout. While working on the vision, like Sometimes employees or maybe leader can feel burnout, and it can lead to mental issues like depression, which can be not so good for our organization overall. Potential of manipulation, sometimes like leaders have that much of power. They can manipulate overall organizational work culture to to serve the vision of the organization. But that's not good. That's not good because it can cause negative atmosphere overall the organization. Now we have talked about a lot of about transformation leadership. Let's understand how to become a transformation leader. First of all, we have to establish a clear vision and a clear goal, and then one have to be innovative, creative, and welcoming to new ideas. And he should he should be welcoming to change. One have to be strong at relationships and communication, so that he can communicate his vision and objective to his followers. And a leader have to lead the subordinates by an examples. And leader have to be open to commit to continuous learning, so that he can be updated himself, and so that updated knowledge can be utilized in the vision. And he can achieve he can achieve the goals of the organization, and he can achieve its personal growth and overall organizational growth. Thank you. Now I would hand over to Diksha. She's going to be explaining charismatic leadership style. Thank you, Raj.
So thank you, Anmol, and my name is Tikisa Aryal, and I'm going to explain about charismatic leadership. So starting off with understanding charisma. So what is charisma? Charisma is the intersection between leadership and communication. So leaders use their natural charisma to inspire others. So are some people born with charisma, or can we personally learn to be charismatic? So when we think of some personality charismatic figures such as Martin Luther King, um, Steve Jobs, we can easily say that they were born to inspire and influence others, and to some extent they are right. So can we personally learn to be charismatic? Many researchers have found that charismatic leadership can be learned. Charisma is a learnable skill. So in the next slide, we will talk about some charismatic uh, personality of charismatic figures they possess and how can we learn to be charismatic. These are some personality traits such as self awareness, communication skills, confidence, emotional intelligence, and sense of vision. So, how we portray ourselves in front of others is a crucial point of charismatic leader. So, we have to be self-aware about our word, our tone, our body language, and etc. So, our leaders are just not great talkers, but they are also great listeners. So, we should have a strong communication skills. They are confident, they have strong emotional intelligence, and they have a strong sense of vision, as in they are able to portray their message, their vision, their goal to their team and to other members. Charismatic leadership. Charismatic leadership is the process of motivating and empowering others by sharing a compelling vision, creating a deep emotional connection, which drive extraordinary results. And this is a statement made by Max Weber. The followers of a charismatic leader are often bonded together by emotional ties, and they create an emotional community with each other. And this is a statement made by Max Weber. The followers of a charismatic leader are often bonded together by emotional ties, and they create an emotional community with each other. These are some examples of charismatic leaders. The first one is Martin Luther King. So Martin Luther King, his vision of racial inequality, powerful speech, and emotional connection inspired millions of people, driving civil rights movement with hope and non-violent action. So second one is Princess Diana. So her passion, she's known as the global icon for her kindness. So her passion, her commitment, her empathy, and her humanitarian work captivated the whole world. And the third one is Mahatma Gandhi. He led India to independence, through non-violent resistance and with this principle and deep connection with the people. So next is key quantitative findings on charismatic leadership. So there are 17% higher productivity of firms led by charismatic leaders. So companies led by charismatic CEOs had 9% higher financial performance. So these are some results of charismatic leadership and how important it is. So next one is aligning charismatic leadership with strategic management tools. So first one is motivating teams through SMART goals. SMART goals as in the goal should be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. So let's take an example of Elon Musk, and he he is founder of Tesla and SpaceX. So he set the goal of creating reusable rockets, which was not only specific and measurable but was also achievable within the time frame. And his charisma helped him sell his vision to his team, driving their motivation. So the second one is crisis management through SWOT analysis. So we can take an example of Winston Churchill in World War II, where he used a form of SWOT analysis, assessing the strength, weakness, identifying the opportunity and threat, in order to give hope to the Britain's people of the Britain and make them focus on the positive side of the war. So he made his team focus on the opportunity and strength for victory. And another one is political leadership through scenario planning and communication strategy. So we can take an example of Barack Obama. During 2008, there was a financial crisis in USA. So fourth one is encouraging innovation and creativity through balanced scorecard. So we can take an example of Steve Jobs for his Apple company. He set objectives for product innovation, customer satisfaction, and financial performance by also ensuring creativity. His leadership inspired his teams for producing revolutionary products like iPhone, iPad that changed the entire mobile industry. So this is my personal leadership style. So I want to be a charismatic leader. So the things I want to develop is my vision, my inspiration, communication skills, build emotional connection, and confidence and authenticity. So I want to inspire my team with a clear, engaging vision, motivating them despite my natural shyness and introversion. So I also want to improve my communication through practice. I want to build my confidence. I want to be authentic, and I want to focus on understanding my team's need through active listening and empathy. I want to put myself in their shoes in order to understand them and their behavior and create a supporting environment. So uh, every leadership has its dark side and disadvantages or cons. So there's a dark trait of charismatic leadership. So charisma and ethics do not always come in a package. So as in some historic charismatic leaders um, have also done unethical works such as Hitler, Charles Manson, Pablo Escobar, and Osama bin Laden. uh, these are the leaders who worked for themselves rather than for their followers. So as in they use their power to gain more power despite of their followers without thinking of others. So it has some dark traits too. So that's all for my presentation, and now I would like to call Deepa for the further presentation.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much, Tikisa. Now, I'd like to continue my presentation, and the topic of my presentation is Pascal theory of leadership. Uh, let's start from the definition of Pascal theory of leadership. The Pascal theory is the belief that managers can affect their team's performance by adapting their leadership style to fit the specific needs of the teams, according to Rusconi 2024. And the Pascal theory of leadership was developed by Robert House in 1997, and later on he revised the theory in 1996. Pascal theory of leadership focuses on the process of how leaders motivate the team members and how the team members achieve their goals with the help of the leaders. And leaders also adjust their leadership style based on the situation, time, and the circumstances to meet the needs and the demands of the team members. Moving on to next slide, we have different principles of Pascal theory of leadership. They are clarifying goals, removing obstacles, providing support, and tailoring leadership style. Clarifying goals. Leaders must clearly communicate the team's goals and expectations, providing a sense of direction and purpose. By ensuring that the team members understand their roles and the responsibilities and what the leaders are desiring as the outcome of their teamwork, leaders can align the individual efforts with the overarching objectives, which helps the team members to identify the goals of the organization. And moving on to another topic, removing obstacles. Leaders should identify and eliminate the different obstacles that exist which hinder the team progress while performing the teamwork. This involves addressing different resources constraints and providing necessary trainings as well, and different development opportunities are advocating for the team within the organization. Uh, Leaders can create a supportive environment within the organization by removing the barriers that exist, which helps to enhance the team members' motivation and performance. Providing support. Leaders should offer guidance, coaching, and support to the team members to achieve the organizational goal at last. The process of providing support includes providing feedback, facilitating team skill development to the employees, and offering assistance whenever it is needed. Leaders can also build the trust and foster a positive working relationship in the organizational setting or within the team, which in turn enhances the team members' confidence and motivation, and leading them to work very efficiently and effectively for the organization, which helps to achieve the organizational goals. And tailoring leadership style. It is another principle of Pascal theory in which leaders should adapt their leadership style to meet the needs of their team members and the specific situational context as well. In short, leaders must be flexible and responsive towards the team member in the leadership style to optimize the team's motivation and performance as well. Moving on to next slide, characteristics. The key components of Pascal theory of leader behaviors include directive leadership, supportive leadership, participative leadership, and achievement-oriented leadership. Directive leadership. In the directive leadership, leaders direct employers or followers and provide clear and concise, defined guidelines for them to excel in the clearly defined goals that are vital to the organization. Also, leaders lay out what is the expectation of leaders from employees to foster a great understanding of roles and responsibilities among the employees as well. A supportive leadership. In the supportive leadership, leaders show great empathy towards the employees and support them in dealing with their personal problems, which helps them to contribute to efficiency issues as well. Besides this, leaders may try to make the work environment very optimistic and treat employees within the utmost respect to boost their motivation, and employees may feel the sense of belonging as well from their leaders, which helps them to perform in a better way in the organizational setting. And another one is participative leadership. In the participative leadership, leaders counsel employees in the course of the different important decision-making process as well within the organization, and leaders also encourage employees to put in additional effort to achieve their goals by making them feel valued in the team as well. Also, the leaders can lay the emphasis on creating a sense of belonging in the workplace to the employees. And the last one is achievement-oriented leadership. As per the behavior of leadership corresponding to the Pascal theory, leaders are keen on setting different challenging objectives for the employees, and also so trust in their ability to handle unprecedented challenges. Employers lay emphasis on the development of achievement-oriented behaviors among employees, and employees work on the prior set goals to meet the expectation of the organization in order to achieve the success in the future. And moving on to another slide, we have another key component such as follower characteristic. It includes perception of ability, experience level, and need for autonomy. If the perception of ability is high, then the leaders prefer supportive or participative leadership, whereas if the perception of ability is low, then the leaders prefer active leadership. In the experience level, the higher the experience is, the leaders favors participative or supportive leadership, whereas if their experience is lower, then they need directive leadership to perform in a better way. And need for autonomy. If the autonomy is higher, then the leader prefers participative leadership, whereas if there is low autonomy, then the leaders accept or prefers directive leadership. And another key component is task characteristics. It includes task structure and complexity and work environment. If the tasks are simple and structured, then the supportive leadership is very effective in this situation, whereas if the task structure is very complex or unstructured, then the directive leadership is required to perform in a better manner. And talking about the work environment, if the work environment is very supportive and healthy, and achievement oriented leadership is very effective in this setting, whereas if the work environment is stressful or unsupportive, then the supportive leadership is required. Moving on to next slide, we have different steps how the path goal theory works. Initially, the leaders assess the situation and the environment of the setting. What type of environment is it, and they find out which leadership style would best fit in the setting, and the leaders choose the leadership style that best fit the needs and the demands of the circumstances, and they set a goal to achieve the organizational success, which increases the followers' motivation, satisfaction, and improves the overall performance. And here is a picture of how path goal theory of leadership works within an organizational setting. And let's move on to next slide. And there are different benefits of path goal theory of leadership. Some of them are here I have mentioned in the slides. And the path goal theory is beneficial to adapt to different situations, which helps leaders to perform very easily, ensuring that the efficiency and effectiveness are met within an organizational setting. Leaders can focus on followers' needs, and they can achieve higher productivity by motivating the employees as well. Leaders can encourage a supportive or dynamic leadership approach, which also helps them to compete in the market with their competitors and making them an outstanding team. A leader's ability to adapt can significantly impact the team's success as well. And the path goal theory of leadership also enhances the leadership effectiveness, which makes a leader as a successful person who can very efficiently lead the team. And moving on to next slide, I have some example of a person who followed a path goal theory. Steve Jobs was the owner of Apple. Followed path goal theory of leadership. He followed directive leadership, which helps him to achieve the success that he is running. And the directive leadership, Jobs was known for his clear and often compromising vision for Apple's products and business strategy. He provided precise guidance on what he wanted and expected from his team, which helped him align everyone towards the company's goal. And Steve Jobs also adopted achievement-oriented leadership. He set very high standards for product design and innovation, pushing his team to achieve groundbreaking results. such as the development of the iPhone, iPads, MacBook, and other different revolutionary products. Steve Jobs also adopted participative leadership, although Jobs could be very directive and he also valued creativity and innovation. He often involved his key team members in discussions and he encouraged them to think outside the box to make his products one of the outstanding products in the market. And these
Thank you, Deepa. Hello, Professor. Today I'll be talking about the situational leadership model, a concept that challenges the idea that one leadership style fits in all. This theory shows that the most effective leaders are those who can adjust their leadership approach depending on the situation. The key here is flexibility, whether it's adapting to a task at hand, the team dynamics, or any other factor that could influence success. As leaders, how we interact with our team members varies based on their competence and motivation. The situational leadership model provides us with the framework for modifying our leadership behavior to achieve the best possible outcome with different followers. Over time, situational leadership model has undergone significant evolution. Its foundation can be tracked back to Ohio State studies, which initially identified two broad categories of leadership behavior: initiating structure and consideration. As the model evolved, these were redefined. Both were redefined, and initiating structure transformed into task behavior, which involves setting clear responsibilities like outlining what needs to be done, how, when, and by whom. On the other hand, consideration becomes relationship behavior, focusing on two-way communication, the listening, encouraging, and providing support. While these behaviors are essential, um, while these behavior are essential, research has shown that their effectiveness can vary based on the situation, emphasizing the importance of context in leadership. In the next slide, we have follower readiness. So, moving forward, let's talk about follower readiness of situational leadership. Follower readiness is about an individual ability and willingness to accomplish a specific task. It's not about their personality or traits, but rather their readiness to tackle a particular challenge. What's fascinating here is that a follower might be highly ready for one task but not for another. The model categorized follower readiness into four levels from R1 to R4, where R1 is the lowest and R4 is the highest. To effectively apply this model, leaders should first assess the follower's readiness level. Once that determined, they can align their leadership behavior with the follower's readiness level to increase the likelihood of success. So you can see the figure that shows it all. And applying the model. So Dr. Hersey, one of the creators of this model, suggests an additional step for leaders. Beyond selecting the appropriate leadership behavior for the current readiness level, leaders can also aim to evaluate their followers' readiness. This might involve developmental intervention, specific action designed to help followers grow. The process begins by assessing the follower's current readiness, then tailoring leadership behavior that not only supports the follower in the present tasks but also encourage their development for the future tasks. So, developmental intervention. Going deeper into this intervention, instead of strictly following the model's prescribed behavior, a leader might choose to engage one level above the current readiness of the follower. Think of it as a proactive approach where you are not just managing the present but also preparing your team members for the next level. This strategy is designed to foster growth, helping followers build the skills and confidence needed to move forward in their development journey. So while the situational leadership model is highly initiative and resonate many with let's say many of them, it's important to know that empirical support for its prediction in real-world workplace is limited. Although many organizations have adapted the model and conducted internal research, most of this data isn't publicly available. So, yeah, in 2007, Blanchard revised the model to provide clearer definition of follower developmental levels, and corresponding leadership styles. Despite these despite these refinements, research suggests that the original model might actually be stronger predictor of performance. No, but nonetheless, the core idea of adjusting leadership style based on the situation remains valuable takeaway for leaders. So finally, let's look at a real world example of situational leadership, Nelson Mandela. So Mandela's leadership journey is a perfect illustration of how adaptable leadership can be, let's say, how this leadership can be powerful. As a revolutionary leader, he employed directive leadership to unite the ANC and lead the fight against apartheid. However, as president, his style evolved. He adapted a more participative and delegative approach to foster reconciliation and inclusivity in post-apartheid in South Africa. Mandela's ability to adjust his leadership style based on situational and the need of the nation highlights the essence of situational leadership. His legacy is a testament to the effectiveness of adaptable leadership in driving lasting, meaningful change. So, these are all from my side. Thank you very much for your time, and my friend will continue the rest one. Thank you.
Hello everyone and hello Professor. Um, I am Bimal Tamang and my student ID is 2328787, and thank you Abe, you did a really great job about um, presenting about situational leadership, and now I am going to present about servant leadership. And this leadership theory is first developed by Robert Greenleaf in 1970s from inspiration of a novel called Journey to the East by Herman, and he had also written a book called Servant Leadership: A Journey into the Nature of Legitimate Power and Greatness. And in his book and from our textbook of Hughes and Kinnett and Curfey, uh, servant leadership just means helping or serving or guiding employees or teammates or group um, to become more efficient at work uh, and to give their best. So servant leadership simply means uh, focusing on others' interest uh, rather than focusing on self-interest. Uh, Moving to the next slide. Okay, here are top 10 qualities of a servant leader, explained or um, produced by the Robert Greenleaf himself. The first servant leadership quality is listening. Servant leaders uh, listen to others more rather than giving judgments quickly or giving orders more. So um, another thing is servant leaders heal uh, employees or teammates when they need, and um, they hurt less, they heal more. And another thing is empathy. They understand the emotions of their teammates. They understand. They listen to them. They know them. And another thing is conceptualization. It means uh, concept conceptualization means servant leadership can actually show the path and show the process and show the result uh, and explain the result uh, and create a concept about whole process and explain it to their teammates. This is a good quality of a servant leaders. And another quality is self-awareness. Servant leadership a theory suggests that servant leader has to servant leaders have to has to have a quality of self-aware. He must be self-aware about his emotion, about his action, his behavior, his mentality, so that he can control himself first and then uh, know about others. And another thing is persuasion. Servant leaders persuade others rather than forcing others to work. It means just influencing them. Another thing is building community. Servant leader actually build community of the team and help them become like himself, like a servant leaders. And another thing is servant leader is absolutely committed to um, employees benefit, employees growth, uh, um, by helping them. uh, and another thing is foresight is servant leaders can predict some kind of, they have that kind of intuition to foresee the things. And another thing is stewardship. Servant leadership feels absolutely responsible uh, to every employees, every staff, every teammates they have. These are the top 10 qualities of servant leader by Robert Greenleaf. I'm moving to the another slide. Okay, so how to be a servant leader? uh, if you want to be a servant leader, you have to focus on giving, not getting from others. You have to be giving nature kind of person. And another thing is you have to stop self-praising or criticizing others. You have to start appreciating their positive works and just um, praising others who do good work. Another thing is uh, serving servant leader. um, you can be a servant leader by listening people, listening their situation, their side of the story, knowing their emotions, and giving them priority, and uh, uh, hearing and giving solution to their problems rather than ignoring uh, the team's problem. And another thing is uh, you have to give facilities to your employee or teammate rather than using them as a tool or machine. And uh, if you want to be a servant leader, you uh, you you have to influence them naturally, not by forcefully. And another thing is servant leadership should or must be solution oriented rather than a problem pointer. And another thing is um, servant leadership. Servant leader train people, teach people how to do rather than blaming them and yelling at them. So uh, these are the simple things that you can follow to become a good servant leader. Moving to the next slide. Okay, here are other examples of servant leaders. There are Cheryl, Herb, Mary, Satya, Ed, and Henry. They are CEO and co-founder or former CEOs of very big companies, and one of them are Satya, who is CEO of Microsoft company, and he or they follow servant leadership theory in their organization and in their behavior. And they are doing good in their job, and it's a modern theory. It's completely opposite about the old theory like autocrat leadership. And in autocrat leadership, they used to give priority to employees at last, and in servant leadership they give um, employees the first priority and the first service to the employees, because employee are the part of the organization who actually helps organization to grow more, who is the face of the organization, so who are the face of the organization. So yeah, so servant leaders focus um, employee at the beginning. It's the first priority. So moving to the other side, servant leadership is connected to the other theories, all the other theories like transformational leadership. Actually, servant leaders are those leaders who help them, who help teammates to transform into better version of themselves, right? So another thing is charismatic leadership. Servant leaders, the person who serve others, are actually very charismatic in itself. And another thing is path goal leadership. It's like mm, uh, conceptualization thing. So they they clear out the path. They know the goal and they explain it to their teammates very well manner. Another thing is situational leadership. uh, it's also connected to the situational leadership because mm, servant leadership or servant leaders are very expert in knowing the situation of their teammates, knowing the problems or their teammates emotions and uh, situations of their teammates, and according to that situation servant leaders take decision. uh, so moving to the other side, practical use of servant leadership. Actually it is useful in every situation of our life, every part of our life. It is useful for corporate environment, any businesses, because the business main motive is to um, give service to others, right? So that's how we get profit, by helping others. So another thing is government main objective is to help the community, help the public. So it's a kind of serving things, right? So and if government um, follows the servant leadership, and it follows, actually it follows, and that's how it works. If it doesn't follow serving things or helping things, it collapses. Another thing is non-profit organization. It's actually means non-profit means it's serving. So yeah, it practically useful for that organization. And another thing is educational, personal life also. It is very useful in personal life also, because serving leadership means you actually help others, serve others, and facilitate others without expecting in return. So if you actually help serve your family members, your friends and other relationship, and it will come back to you by multiplying. And because if you give love you get back love. So it's a simple thing. It's like a karma. Another thing, another slide. Okay, so my personal experience about servant leadership is, mm, I worked as a vocal teacher, and I tried to understand. I used to try to understand their feeling, their situation, um, um, and their problems, before judging them or before giving them orders. And I listened them uh, very curiously. I try to explain them the process and outcomes, and I try to um, grow them. I try to help them become like a good leader or become good version of themselves. So yeah, I kind of followed the servant leadership theory at that time without knowing it. Another slide. uh, let's talk about critical aspect of servant leadership. In spite of I like servant leadership a lot because it actually resonate with me, because I love helping others. So in spite of that, there are critical aspects of servant leadership. um, here are few, and the one is, if the followers or teammates or group mates are negative or users of other people, then it works negatively for the team and for the organization. Uh, another thing is, if the leader who is trying to be a servant leader is lack, he has low capacity of emotional intelligence, then uh, he cannot understand others, right? So another thing is, if he doesn't have the competence to help others, then it means it doesn't work out. And um, there are so many others critical aspects, like it 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 actually take longer time to make decisions, because it hears about all the sides of employees story also. So yeah, there are so many drawbacks also. uh, so uh, that's all for my part of presentation, and thank you so much everyone.
So now when everyone have told their theory aspects, so let's understand which theory is the most accurate in real world implications. To do that, we formed. Now you can scan this code and can help us to identify which theory is most accurate in terms of real world implications. We took a batch size of 30 to 40 people and we gave them a survey on Mentimeter, that same QR code, and we got these results. We got these results. 33% of the population or the mass says that charismatic leadership theory is most accurate in terms of real world implications. Beside that, part 2 goal theory 27% says this is the most accurate theory in terms of real world implications. After that, situation leadership, transformational leadership, and servant leadership uh, are behind them. Uh, it is priced that like the only 7% people say transformational leadership is most accurate in real world implications. So this is our data that represents the leadership theory that is most accurate. Now I'll pass over to the Bimal so that he can take us through conclusion.
Okay, finally, in conclusion of overall of our presentation, um, Abhay and Anmol and Dikisa and Deepa, they all did great job. And um, in in conclusion, all the leadership theories or all the other things, all about becoming leader, a good leader, that means you have to be a good human being who actually is willing to help others, to help the community, to help the organization, to help the employees, teams, followers, or anyone they meet in the life. Mm, it just means you have to have that quality of mm, becoming a role model to others by helping others, by serving others, by transforming others, by showing a path and goal, by uh, helping them in different situations, and uh, by becoming a charismatic personality. So overall, it just means that you as a person, as a human being, should be a good person to become a good leader. Either you follow any of these five leadership theory, the most important thing is be a good person, be a best person as you can be, and help as much as you can, and give best whatever you do, whatever sector uh, you choose to work. Just be the best version of yourself and try to make others the best version of themselves by helping them. Try to help community, try to help world, try to help the organization in which you work, try to help your family, friends, everybody. So the basic nature of this whole planet is giving. So follow that thing by becoming uh, a willing person to help, and that's how you get satisfied, that's how you get satisfaction from uh, inner core heart of yourself. uh, so that's all for our team, and thank you, Professor. You are such a nice person, and you are one of the best leader I have ever seen in my life. Thank you.